Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Vobes show. I'm Richard Vobes, and I'm the master of ceremonies of this crazy, stupid, insane load of old nonsense. The next hour or so, maybe longer, depending on how long I manage to keep up this facade of health, when actually, of course, as you may know, if you've been watching recently or listening to the podcasts or watching on Facebook or any other social media aspects that I may have been pushing my content out on, I have had a little touch of the old man flu. Yes, I've not been terribly well, and in fact you may be able to hear that my voice is still not up to 100% scratch. My chest is still a little bit thick with cold. However, it is on its way out. I'm feeling a lot better, and I have been out today playing silly buggers. So that's not too bad, is it? I hope you are well. You are very welcome. Gather yourselves around and we will start the nonsense that we call the Vobes show, which really, for those who perhaps are staggering across this for the very first time and thinking, what the hell is this? This is some bloke, but is he in prison? Is just because I've got a brick wall? Am I thus entombed in some incarcerated building? Well, the answer to that is no and no. I'm not. This is just my front room. Normally I do it in the studio, which I have nearly, ladies and gentlemen, nearly got back. We'll venture into what that is all about very shortly. This is really just a way that I can have a chat with the fans who follow the Bald Explorer and all the podcasts that I put out and all the other sort of content. It's my way of having a chat with you, and you also get a chance to put your comments to me on the Facebook comment thing. If you're watching on YouTube, I should explain, if this is the first time, this isn't live on YouTube. It is live, however, on Facebook at 8 o'clock on the 7th of December when this is being recorded. And just to prove that, I will go and have a look and see if there's actually anybody out there. Is there anybody there? Yes, there do happen to be. Claire Leach, for one. Anne Osborne has turned up. Judith Oakley, it's lovely to see you three. Terence Dacombe, Nigel Sadler, and others. Mark Selwood has arrived and says, hello, hope you're feeling better, Richard. I'm trying to feel better. It's the first thing in the morning, and it's late at night. Now, to me, this is reasonably late because, as you know, I do tend to go to bed early, although last night I did go to bed very late. I didn't go to bed till 12 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I know. I was watching a film. I don't watch films. I don't watch the television very often. I usually sit and read, or I'm catching up with email or whatever it is that I've got to do, or just taking time out from the pressures of state. But I did watch a film. I watched a film called The Commuter with Liam Neeson, is it? Liam Neeson. It's all based about this commuter on a train. It's a sort of shoot 'em up, but there's not that much shooting going up. It's a sort of action thriller. It's quite good. Quite enjoyed it. Haven't watched a film for ages and ages and ages, and I just thought, do you know what? I want to just have a bit of escapism. Trouble is, by the time I got round to actually watching the film, it wasn't until 10 o'clock. The film was on for about 2 hours, and by which point it was very late, of course, and I staggered up to bed absolutely knackered. But I managed to get up, ladies and gentlemen, not at 6. I did get up a little bit later at 7, which was why the daily video on the Bald Explorer channels was a tad late, but I hope you don't mind. I needed the rest. Anyway, let's find out what's going on in the world of you guys, and then you can find out what's going on in the world of me. Ian Beddoes has arrived. He says hello. Cynthia Walder is saying hello to everybody. Mark Selwood says, you sound much better. It's actually quite an effort to perform, as it were, at this rate. You may find the energy level goes down somewhat during the show because I can feel my chest tighten up. Dean Cooper, hello you. It's nice to see you. Maya says you're back. Great to see you. Much appreciated. Well, I couldn't leave a whole week without me, could you? Richard Suggett says, I'm staggering across this for the first time. He normally sits down. You've been on the old WD-40 again, Richard Suggett, or is it fridge juice that you've been drinking? He also says, oh, it's the same thing. He's repeated himself. Lynn Bussey is there, which is nice. Kevin Hall, hello. Thank you for joining me, which is not actually his catchphrase. Steve B.J. Blakey has arrived, which is nice. And Daniel, he says, hello. Fiona Cooper, hello, Fiona. Andy Dalglish, she says, hi chums, hope you're feeling better, Richard. Yes, thank you, sort of on the mend, which is nice, thank you very much. So that's all good. Mark Selwood, he says, me and Nikki want to do a Vobing report from Hounslow in a week's time. Any ideas? Hounslow. Oh, blimey. I tell you, you want to talk to Mark English about that. He probably knows the ins and outs of the South London area. I can't imagine that it would be very easy in London. It's so busy and noisy. But good luck, and we'd be interested to see what you do. If there is a park, perhaps, around there, or some quiet places to go, I wouldn't fly a drone. I would probably avoid doing that, because you'll be flying over, you know, in the space of whatever it is, 100 feet, you've probably taken in 1,200 dwellings in Hounslow, so I'd be careful. That would be my advice. Nigel Sadler says 12 midnight, pumpkin time. Oh, really? Pumpkins? I think you got the wrong night, haven't you? The 31st of October, I believe, was Pumpkin Day, but perhaps you'll put me right. Dean Cooper says the jumper is great. This is the jumper that the lovely Julia gave to me. It's the Christmas jumper, and I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, it will be the jumper that you will see me in on the run-up to Christmas. Can't be many shows that I have to subject myself to this. No, it's a lovely jumper. I will not hear anything bad said against it. Claire Leach says, hope you are feeling better. Are you passing your germs around? I seem to be suffering from the cold. Well, I hope that I am passing those germs. I hope that they live to fight another day. But I don't want you to get them, Claire, or any of my lovely viewers. They are there to go and attack the nasty people in this world. You know, there's plenty of those nasties out there. I want the germs to get those, not the nice people who support the Bald Explorer and watch the Vobes show. They're all far too nice. Fiona Cooper says, hello, Richard. Enjoying a nice bottle of wine. Nice to see you back again. Thank you very much. Is it red wine or white wine? Is it sweet wine or dry wine? Is it rosé wine, maybe? Is it a Perry wine? Is it Perry Good? Robert Croser, hello to you. He has joined us. David Henry David Allen says, hello. Thank you for joining me. It's nice to see you. Claire says that we've missed you. It's nice to be missed, isn't it? It's nice to be missed, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the wonderful Adrian Lidgett. Hello, Adrian. How are you, you saucy man? Saucy farmer from over there in Biddenden or Betherston, or one of them in that neck of the woods of Kent. Beautiful Kent. We need to come back. I haven't been back to Kent for a while. Need to come back and have a look at your lovely cows and see what's going down in the rural areas of that area. See? Pam Earnshaw has arrived. Nikki Jess is saying hi, everyone. Peter Richardson, I keep talking to you, Peter. He says, good evening. Peter, about your car. When can we go? Maybe you did reply, but I didn't see it. richard@vobes.com. Send me an email. You know the email. Or send me a message. Well, best to send it. Richard@Vobes. V for Victor. OBE. Old Brown Elephant. S for Sugar. Richard@Vobes.com. It would be good to have a little trip in your car, in your lovely Rolls Royce, if you've still got it. Daniel says, Richard, could you please do another video from Worthing? I will try. We've got one coming up which is close to Worthing, actually, in Lancing. So have a look at that. Mark Selwood says Liam Neeson has morphed himself into an action hero actor for some reason. Well, what reason? It's all very well saying it's some reason. Which reason is it? I thought he was very good, actually, in this film. He plays the same character in all the films that you ever see him. I will find you, and when I find you, I will find you, and when I find you, I will kill you. I can't do that for very long because that's buggering up my throat. But I have some water to help me get through the show, so that's all good. Kushti Phil says good evening. Nigel says Hounslow great for plane spotting. Oh yes, plane spotting. There's a lot of plane spots up there, actually. You may find that there's some colourful spots as well, some with frilly shapes. Frilly little shapes around the edges. They're quite nice, not quite so plain. There's a lot of polka dot up there as well. They're quite nice for spotting. So yeah, go and have a look at those plain spots, see if you can find them. If you get measles, you might find that's quite useful. And of course there's those spots between the eyes or in front of the eyes. You can place them wherever you like. It's quite a good game. Henry says the London Loop runs through Hounslow. That will take you to some nice countryside. The London Loop. I don't know quite what the loop is. I'm assuming that's train, is it? Is that a train? Daniel says, Happy Christmas, Richard. Can you please do a Christmas special Vobe show? Well, I don't know what day can somebody tell me what day of the week Christmas lies on? It may be that I will do a Christmas special because, ladies and gentlemen, chances are I will be on my own. I can't hear the violins. I'm sure they're playing. I will be on my Todd at Christmas, no doubt. With perhaps a tiny little piece of quiche and perhaps a couple of peas will be my Christmas dinner. It will be very sad. But the kids are going off to various places. They've got people to see, phone calls to make, letters to write, parcels to give, Santa to visit, and presents to open. Whereas, of course, little old me will probably be sitting there amongst the invisible elves, just thinking it's another Christmas, bar humbug. I will no doubt watch, what's his name, Alistair Sim in Scrooge and feel so much better. So that would be good. Ian Beddoes says, had a much better day yesterday on the beach than we had today, being delayed after a bit of string snapped in the plane home. Where have you been that you've had to get into a plane run? Is it a biplane? One of those string biplanes where they got bits of string holding the wings on? Is that the sort of plane it is? Maybe it is. Dean Cooper says, we're about to drain the national grid with the full light display. Oh yeah, Fiona is drinking rosé wine. Ah yeah. If suddenly everything goes down and dims, you'll know that it is down at the Cooper household. Daniel says, I'll bring the calendar of Worthing round one day. Yeah, one day, there's no rush. Between now and December 2019, it would be a good time. Post it through the door if I'm not in. Cushty Phil says, looks like a pub glass to me. Yes, it is a pub glass, actually, Cushty Phil. It is a Spitfire Premium Kentish Ale, if you don't mind. It's very nice. Doesn't taste much like Kentish Ale, but I'm sure it's water that's gone past the Southern Water Management, no doubt. Tuesday, says Adrian Lidgett. That is a Tuesday. Well, I guess that's Christmas. Well, I don't do shows on a Tuesday, so I get off the hook. Handy, isn't it? Maybe I'll make an exception this time. Danny, maybe I'll do my Queen impression on there. I'll just do it at 3 o'clock. No, that wouldn't go down too well in case too many people tune into the Vobes. Can't do it with the cold at the moment. I'm not even going to try do the Queen. You'll have to wait for Christmas Day for that. Daniel says that Christmas is on the 25th of December. Right. Yeah, thanks for that, Daniel. Yeah, that bit, funny enough, do you know, when I said what day of the week, I didn't mean what number of the week. I actually, sorry, there's something distracted me. There's something fell over. I actually worked that bit out for myself. Yeah, I really did. Henry says the London Loop is a train. Well done, we got that. 150-mile long-distance path which runs from Erith to Purfleet in a huge circle around London. I've done it as far as Barnet. Is it... oh, it's not a train. Was it? You mean it was a train that's been removed, or it is a 100 long-distance path? So I'm confused. Is it a path, or is it a train, or was it a train path? That would be an interesting loop to go and... to explore. Andy Joy has arrived. Nice to see you, Andy Joy. June and Mary have joined. That's not all three different people as far as I know. It's not like Mary, Mungo and Midge suddenly coming along. Do you remember Mary, Mungo and Midge? Yeah, you're showing your age, aren't you? Nope, he's coming up here. Suggett. What? Who's coming up there? What do we got? Mark Seward says, I'm sure I will be free for a Vobe show on Christmas Day at 8 p.m. Yeah, another poor sap who no doubt would be on his own. Poor old Mark. What a shame. Ian Beddoes says, been to Nerja Costa, wherever that is, Del Sol. It was a 757 and the string holding the luggage snapped. The string holding the luggage. Blimey. Ed Keeley has joined. Hello, Ed. Lovely to see you. Thank you. Well, I can't actually see you, but, you know, I'm imagining that your handsome figure has suddenly lumbered into one of the seats. When I say lumbered, I don't mean that in a sort of, you know, larger-than-life way. I mean that you've delicately positioned your posterior into a nice velvet-covered chair, and that you are now reclining with perhaps a large crystal decanted glass bowl. You know, one of those great big bowls where you put brandy in. That's what I was imagining. Paul Watson and John Berger have arrived, not holding hands. And Mark Selwood says it would be fun if you record your own Christmas Queen speech for the group Crimbo message. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Could do that. Kevin All says, do you Christmas special show on the 21st, which is a Friday? Oh yeah, could do that. That's very good. Judith Oakley says, Erith, my hometown. Where is Erith? Sounds like Scotland. Where is that? Sorry, I mean it isn't a train. Oh right, okay, so we've established that it's not a train, it's a long path. Is it a cycle path? Probably as well, or a walking path. I'm trying to catch up with everything. Dean Cooper says, I've been in Folkestone. Well, someone's got to, I suppose. I discussed a lot of tram lines in there to see maybe I'll do something on the Channel Tunnel building. Yeah, I believe it was 3 blokes with a spade. Took them a long time, but it does work quite well now. The spades, however, they're a bit buckled. Never mind. How's your kitchen getting along, says Daniel. Good question. Gonna get onto that because I know you're all dying to know. But before all of that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you what the lovely Julia and I have been up to today. Because, as you know, the lovely Julia and I get up to all sorts of mischief when people aren't looking. A lot of rumours are floating about of all sorts of things. I quite like that, really, because I like the fact that people like to jump to their own conclusion, and I say let them, because it's much more fun than the reality. However, I can reveal something of the stupid stuff that the lovely Julia and I got up to today, all honestly, ladies and gentlemen, all in the name of research for a video. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is quite right. We were down on the beach and we were doing, it may not look like we were doing research, but I can assure you it was very, very worthwhile stuff that we were doing. Anyway, we enjoyed it. The rain was all over the place first thing. Then it did brighten up about 12 o'clock and I was determined, because I'd been running out, been kept in, my health wasn't very good, and, excuse me, I was determined to get something in the can. Well, I think we got something. I don't know whether it's any good. I don't know whether people will enjoy it. But it was filmed on Lancing Beach. And in years to come, ladies and gentlemen, people will flock down to Lancing Beach. They will flock down to Lancing Beach in search of the specific area where that clip and more were filmed. Oh, yes. In the future, 100 years' time, when something goes wrong with the internet and YouTube has deleted everything and Facebook has left nothing, and somehow, I don't know, some nuclear wave of magnetic force has rubbed out every recording, except perhaps this one little foray into Lancing Beach, and there people will go, we must find this spot. The bald one and the purple ranger, where were they cavorting with the waves? And people will be getting on the number 32 bus and stopping and getting, I don't actually know if the number 32 bus is the one that goes anywhere near there, I just made that up. Can I say, first of all, I don't know about first, there's nothing first about it. Received this in the post today. Lovely, lovely thing it is. It is a book, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, you can see that. I know that. It is a book. It is a very nice book. It's a very old book. And on the spine of the book, it says A History of Sussex. And it is by the legendary author J.R. Hartley. No, not J.R. Hartley. J.R. Armstrong. J.R. Armstrong, I know absolutely bugger all about J.R. Armstrong. I just know this book was £3. It was first published in 1961, a couple of years before I was born, and then revised in 1974 and brought up to date in 1974. And it is a beautiful book with a number of interesting pictures, as you can see on there. And I've been slowly, as you know, over the last 6 months or so, asking people to send in various books on Sussex, because I want to, next year, most particularly, I want to get out and follow a lot more of the old guided books, the routes of the past that people have trod, and follow in footsteps. And also, I want to tell the story. I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you, I can't do that because it hurts the throat rather a lot. It's a good job I don't have to do Dalek impressions at the moment. Anyway, so I want to get out and I want to sort of explore a lot more of Sussex, and in one of the specific areas is the South Downs. I've been asked by the Friends of the South Downs Society to give a chat. So I've been reading up about the South Downs themselves, this great big lump of chalk, permeable chalk, with the layers of flint, the different types of chalk there are, the springs and the reasons for the undulation, the great big chalk dome that once filled the Weald that was eroded away, and we have the escarpments that prove that the dome started like this and then sort of stopped. There's a lot of interesting stuff, and I want to make a whole series of videos about that and the Sussex, because that's where I live. It's lots of interesting stuff, as well as all the usual nonsense that I do. This book was sent to me excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, the old chest is playing up. Sent to me by the lovely Elaine Brazier, and I have to say, Elaine, if you're watching, thank you very much. It's very, very kind, and you've sent me quite a number of books. I love them. These, particularly the books of Sussex, Kent, Hampshire, those sort of areas, the areas that are, you know, for me, only a couple of hours to drive to go and explore and make a video about, and to learn about, and to do some history on. Absolutely, I love it. I absolutely love it. So if anybody does have any of these old books, and you just fancy, you know, you don't read them yourselves, they've been sitting on your shelves, and trying to make a collection, a bored explorer collection of the Sussex, Hampshire and Kent books of the area, so that, you know, I can really help. It'd be helping me make a lot more of these videos. Or if you do go into second-hand bookshops and they're not too expensive, then send them on to me. Ask for my address by sending me an email to richard@vobes.com, and I will send you my address by return. And it'd be a way that you can help support the show, because it really does help. And I do read them. I do read them. I know I don't have a lot of time, and I'm always saying, I've not got enough time. But I do read them. So I'm... excuse me. Oh, it's painful, isn't it? It's painful to watch. Somebody said, could you do 2 hours for the show on Friday? Sadly, I can't do 2 hours. I can feel talking non-stop for an hour is hard work. Anyway, thanks, Elaine. I really appreciate that. Let's see what people are saying and catch up. David says, the other day I was reading a book, The History of Glue. Couldn't put it down. Yeah, not surprised. You need to get the antidote, the whatever it is. Dean Cooper says he did fly fishing, didn't he, J.R. Hartley? I think J.R. Hartley is Julia's dad, isn't it? I'm not quite sure. He did, and the Yellow Pages. That's shocking, Henry. Yes, it was shocking. Thanks, Maya. Richard Suggett says, I've got that throat too. It's painful. Maybe I gave it to you, Richard. I wouldn't be at all surprised. Mark Selwood says, if you find a good glue book, you need to stick with it. Oh yes, that's true. Paul and Suzanne Watts have joined. Hello, lovely to see you. Mark Green has also joined, which is great. Richard Suggett says, Kevin spent time installing the ESSI. We really got close. Yeah, well, we got close. We didn't get that close. I mean, we're great friends, Mr. Suggett. This has been one of the joys of the Bald Explorers. I have made some very, very lovely friends. And, you know, why wouldn't you do something this just for the fact that it's attracted some of the finest people in the land? I mean, the ignorant, the ugly, the unintelligent, the stupid. They don't watch the Bald Explorer. They don't know about it. And, you know, I think that this is a perfect way to filter out the riffraff. Only you people, only you lovely people, you fans, you super fans, know, you know, a good thing when you're onto it. And by golly, you're probably on it now. So look after that chair. Must be worth a fortune. Kevin Hall says, I'd like you to have done a Neil Kinnock. Oh, blimey, and I can't do an impression of Neil Kinnock. Your videos, Richard, certainly inspire me, says Mark Selwood. Oh, I'm very pleased. Dean Cooper says he didn't read my post right. Oh, gosh, I've done it again. I've made a boo-boo. Erith is in southeast London. It sounds like it's from... Oh, hi, there new. I've been to Erith in the zoo. Yeah, see... my throat is still inflamed, ladies and gentlemen. Inflamed. Anyway, I'm sorry if I didn't read your post properly, Dean. I do apologise about that. Send it again. You need some bronchial balsam, he says. Very good medicine. Tesco's do it. It's brilliant for you. Every little helps, apparently. Thank you, Dean. I'll try and get some bronchial balsam. Although I don't actually have a Tesco's anywhere near me. Maybe Morrison's would do it. So that would be good. Right. Oh, yes, it was Daniel who said, I said for you to do the 2 hours. Yeah, you vicious, mean person. Is that because that you get to stay up late? Maybe you get to stay up late because you're, what, 13, 14? What time do you get to stay up late at night now, Daniel? That's what I'd like to know. Right. I got something else. In fact, the lovely Julia and I both got something else. And I believe there's somebody watching who knows and has been waiting patiently for the Vobes to actually acknowledge that something has been sent. Well, now is that moment. Sit back, goggle-eyed. If you sent something into the Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi and the lovely Julia, now is the moment to be prepared for your acknowledged... Everyone has their 15 minutes of frame. Frame? Not frame. You get 5 minutes of frame here. So, yes, you person, you know who you are. You sent something in a long time ago, and I've just been sitting on it because I've had the SE to plumb in, or we'll get to that. And then I've been ill, and I've stopped doing the show in the usual way, and it's all been awkward, and you've gone, oh, I spent all this money, heaps and heaps of money, the diamonds, the very expensive watches, and all of those things that I bought, not for them, for other people, but it's a shame I haven't heard him talk about it. Well, let's see if that's going to be revealed right now. So in the post came a parcel to the old Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi, and as you know, I get parcels and letters, all sorts of things. Could have been a piece of equipment.
Could have been.
Could have been a rat catcher.
A rat catcher, yeah, could have been.
Could have been. Could have been a summons to court for smoking too many fish cakes.
Okay.
Or could have been something for Christmas. And have a little look inside.
Looks like
so
it's...
I opened it and then I just saw a little wrapped up thing. So I thought I won't go any further.
You want me to get them out?
Yeah. By the way, noticed a nice fire blazing away.
Lovely. To Richard.
Oh, this is like Christmas, isn't it? It's just like Christmas, ladies and gentlemen.
Ha, ha, ha.
So this is to Richard. Merry Christmas from Cynthia. A couple more for the collection. And I think this is from Cynthia Walder.
To Julia, Merry Christmas, love and best wishes, Cynthia. Sorry I haven't got round to making unicorns yet. Cool. I'm really chuffed with all the presents I've been getting. Oh, look at the paper. Gorgeous horses. You have to see that. I don't know if it's going to focus. Yeah, there you go. Those lovely horses pulling the...
There's 2 cards. We ought to open the cards first, don't you think?
But I was going to say, I do feel guilty that Suggett and Holdsworth and English...
Yeah, they haven't sent us anything. Oh,
aren't
sorry.
getting any presents.
Aren't getting anything. No, I know. I
feel bad.
Yeah, I feel bad. So, anyway, we'll open these. I'm going to open the card.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to open the card to see if that £500 note is in there.
Can keep wishing.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, it says. Da, 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 da. It says to Richard, Merry Christmas, lots of love and best wishes from Cynthia Walder. Thank you so much. This will be great. I'm going to put this on the fire. Oh no, not on the fire. I mean, I'm going to put it in a respectful plate. Don't hit it on the head.
It's gorgeous. Lovely picture. To Julia, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year with love and best wishes, Cynthia Walder. Thank you.
Did she get you one as well? Oh, look.
Pretty.
It's pretty, isn't it?
It'll
I'm going to
go
open my
in
book
forest.
now. Book? I don't know that it's a book. I haven't opened. I could open my book now.
Snortle, snortle.
I assume it's a book. What else could it be? Maybe a checkbook with that file. Oh, look. What is that ugly thing?
Mousey.
Eat
Eat your face off.
You eat your face off.
Go on, Mousey, sick 'em.
Show the audience.
Audient.
Yes.
Little mouse.
Hello, little mouse. Great. And what do you think I've got? I've got a couple of things from Dennis Haggard. I mean, yeah, they are Dennis Haggard. Maps and drawings by Betty Haggard from the Haggard family. It's Rambles of, what is it? Rambles of Hampshire and Sussex. And then more rambles from Hampshire and Sussex. How on foot or by car. So, Julia, we've got to get out and do these.
Yeah.
So here we go, some lovely Petersfield to West Harting on foot to Numbers Midhurst by car, by carbonate of soda, Farnham by car, Weston and Buster Hill on foot. How brilliant. That is so kind. Thank you so much. It's just right up my street and I will be doing these. And you can get them too for 90p each. Oh, shush. It just says it on there. Just saying. No, that's really kind. How lovely.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Thanks very much. If anyone else would like to send us some stuff, especially a £500 note, then do send them to richard@vobes.com. I'll send you the address. But no, I'm teasing. It's great, isn't it? Yeah,
Not being teased.
Yeah, it's a great bit of
Teasing people.
Yeah. Anyway, can't muck about with all this. We've got some fire to keep warm by. Well, there we are. Thank you so much, Cynthia. That was so kind, really, really kind. And I've been having a look at the books and already started to think, oh, some interesting walks. You've got to go and video those. I noticed that they're published here in 1979, so I'd be interested to know where you know, if these are current. It's got on here 90p. Then in pencil, it's got £1.20, which sounds, you know, more like a modern day price. Who prices anything these days at 90p? But I can imagine when it was published in 1979, 90p was probably, I don't know, worth about what, £3-4 now would be equivalent to. But really interesting, and again, it's that distance in time that I'm interested in. So from the late 70s, you know, you could go around some of these places and see what has happened. And I think, you know, it's interesting doing something from the 1920s like Richard Suggett and I did not so long ago when we started one of these walks by this chap, bloke Mayer, I think his name was, wasn't it? and obviously in nearly 90 years, a lot would have changed, 80 years possibly. But it's more worrying when the changes are within living memory. I mean, I remember 1979, yeah, I 1979, I was working. I was about 15, and I was working in a printing company. We didn't print those, so I do remember it. And it would be interesting to know what the changes are. And you go around and go, oh, blimey, look at that, what it's like then and what it's like today. Also, thank you very much for your card, which was very nice. Julia's obviously taken her card home with her. That's very kind. Also, some more cards have come in, ladies and gentlemen. This very grand-looking card, I want to show you that. Look at that. What a beautiful, stately home that is. Now, I would like to live in a house like that. That would be one of my dream houses. The money to go with it, of course, to keep its upkeep so that I could have studios in different bedrooms. We could have meetups there. We could have board meetings. We could get the flunkies to come round and deliver all the food, which would be lovely. This is to Richard and Julia, with the best wishes for Christmas and the New Year. Love from Sue Blount. Thank you, Sue. Very kind. I will try and get all these cards together and put them back in the studio before Christmas. Which would be fantastic, because I know people have been sending them in. I can't permanently put them up behind me because you can't see it, but behind me there is the fire, which was blazing away. It's now nearly out. I should have nipped out and got a log. Also, I've got this beautiful card here. Excuse me. Season's greetings, it says, with a lovely redbreast robin on the front. To Richard and Julia, Merry Christmas, lots of love at Christmas from Nikki and Mark. So Nikki and Mark, thank you too very much. That's very kind of you. What lovely people to send them in. And if you have sent a card in and I've not yet acknowledged it, it will be around. I'll try and get round to it. There's been a massive upheaval in the house, and stuff has been moved around from pillar to post, trying to install this Essie. And you'll notice that I haven't really spoken a great deal about the Essie and the installation, although we have posted something online about it. And the reason that I haven't said too much about it is the lovely Richard Suggett, who helped me, and Mr. Hartley, the lovely Julia's lovely husband, also helped me install the thing over the weekend, last weekend. It was a mammoth task, 2 very long days. As a result, of course, I seem to have got myself run down and got a cold. Fortunately, the weather was mild whilst this thing was being plumbed in with the back boiler on the inside. But the reason I haven't mentioned too much about it is we did do some videoing, and I want to make the rest of the video and put in the pictures and show the plumbing in of the Essie. It won't be anything spectacular, but it will be a little video which I aim to put together. I'm not quite sure when it will come out. I was hoping it would be out tomorrow, but I've not had a chance to edit it, so and record it. And of course, being ill, I've not. My voice has been awful, and it doesn't match. Doesn't match the previous recordings. So there's a bit more to do on that, and then demonstrate how it works. But I can tell you that I'm absolutely thrilled with it. Now that it's done, there's a little bit more work on fixing the pipes to the walls. Yes, no, I haven't still done that. I'm just letting it run for a week. Then I'm going to close it down and clean it up. In fact, that's probably due to be done over the weekend, one of the days. But yes, it's brilliant. It does... It dries the towels and the washing overnight or in the daytime. I hang them up in the kitchen. It's absolutely fantastic. You'll see some of that in the behind the scenes when it comes. And it certainly heats up the house. It does all those things I was hoping that it would do. It heats up the core of the house, the stairs. Every room is nice and warm, which is brilliant. It's giving me constant hot water, which I've never had, apart from when I had the Rayburn many years ago, about 20 odd years ago, when I had my Rayburn for 2 years. Oh, by the way, I do have 2 hands. Somebody said I only have 1 hand. I have 2 hands. I've only got 1 eye, one eye that works. And have I ever mentioned that before? Maybe I have, maybe just once or twice. Anyway, I'm very thrilled with it. It's very good. I love it. I'm just desperate now for more logs. I didn't order enough logs. and I'm getting used to how many logs you need to leave in it overnight so that it doesn't burn them too quickly, that you settle it down, as it were, and it just embers away in the night, which is good. And I come down at 6 o'clock, and I probably only need to change the dustpan once a week. You know, some people seem to think, oh, it's a nightmare, you've got to keep cleaning it out and what have you. But I think once a week you probably empty it. It seems to be perfectly fine. Happy to do that. Excuse me. Give it a good old clean. Get it all ready. And away you go. I love it. Absolutely. I know it's not for everybody. I know it's not everybody would want it. But I absolutely adore it. The thing I've got to do now is build my little outhouse out the back. And I can put some armchairs in the kitchen as well. There's limited space. My throat is going, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. I may have to curtail today's show because I don't want to ruin my throat by over talking. Maybe somebody else can come in and do some talking for me. Yeah, so I want to make it a meeting place where people can come and go and have one of those old-fashioned kettles on there and coffee on the hob and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So I'm absolutely thrilled. Let's see what people are saying, if they're saying anything, which would be good. So Nigel Saller says, well spotted TLJ. I'm not quite sure what he's talking about there. Richard, have you ever ventured to Southampton to do a walk? It's very rich in history. Danny Harris said that. I did a podcast with my son Stanley recently. Oh, by the way, you may have noticed, just on a thing talking of Stanley, I put up a podcast on the Bald Explorer group page on my podcast feed, which goes through Anchor FM. It's anchor.fm, and I think then /Bald Explorer. And you get the podcasts that I'm slowly and will be doing more exclusive stuff. Some of them are old stuff that I've done. So I put one up with Stanley in the past at Body Worlds. There's an exhibition that's coming, I think, to London or somewhere. The lovely Julia alerted me to it, and I thought, yeah, actually I've been to one of those sometime. I think it was 2006. Anyway, took Stanley with me, and we made a podcast. We interviewed a lady there who was in charge of it all, and put that up. You can go and check that out. And I need to put it on the website. Everything should also, if you can't find it on the social media, it'll be on the baldexplorer.com website. I'll update that later on this evening. Let's see how we go. But yes, have I been to Southampton? I did do a walk around the walls of Southampton. And yes, it's a city, so it's busy. But it would be good to do some more stuff around there. We did do some stuff with the lovely Julia in Portsmouth, so Southampton should be next on the list. Fiona Cooper says, I was 5. I'm assuming, what, 5 in 1959? In 1959? 1979, there we go. Henry David Allam says, Chatsworth. I'm trying to get my feverish brain into what that reference is, but I can't think. Thought it had sprung a leak. Oh, the Essie, yes, there's a whole, I mean, the saga is long and foreboding, and it did spring a leak, yes, and that was a bit of a trial to get it to be fixed, but it is fixed now. It's working lovely now, and I'm, you know, it nearly killed me, but it is working now. Colin Charles Fox has joined. Hello, Colin. Still waiting to hear if Peter Richardson has sent me an email or a message about his Rolls Royce. Are you there, Peter, or are you just ignoring me on purpose? Or have I missed the thing yet again? I want to do a video in your Rolls Royce around Sussex. It's got this beautiful old-fashioned Rolls Royce. I think he's still got it. He's got a number of vintage cars. He collects cars. And I think we should do a video, Peter. But I see you check in and then you obviously disappear. So I don't know whether you're up for it. Chris Nash says, get an axe, Richard, and take a walk in the woods. Yeah. The trouble with that is, one, it's illegal. But more immediate is that I've got to cart it back. So you really need a chainsaw. And 3... you need to wait for it to be seasoned. There's no point chopping down trees and burning them when they're green, because you ain't going to get too much heat out of them. And also, all of that sap is actually going to make a mess of your stove. So that's no good. So there we go. He says it saves on a gas bill. That's true. Dean says, you have a new viewer tonight. Little Bradley Cooper is on my lap watching his 5 and he's not asleep. Hello, Bradley. Hello. How are you? Yes, Bradley, I'm talking to you. You're 5, are you? Well, well, well. And it's Friday night and you can't sleep. And so good old Dad has put you on his lap, has he? Yeah? And he's forced you to watch me. You poor little sap. Take your thumb out your mouth. You poor little chap. So when I finish, do you think you might go to sleep? Because if you do, Daddy might let you watch some more. Yeah, you never know. He's got a particularly interesting collection of DVDs, actually, under his bed. He only brings them out when nobody's in the house. I don't know what they contain, but you might go crawling under there and have a look. Know what I mean? Good old Bradley. Nice to see him. Anne says that she enjoyed the podcast at Body World. Thank you very much. So did Claire, which was great. Lee Terence Connolly says, please say you and Richard are going to do a Christmas special. Well, I'm sure Mr. Suggett and I will get together and do a Christmas something from the allotment cooked on the Essie would be good, wouldn't it? That sounds an absolute ideal thing. Henry says it was the big house on the card. Oh, thank you. Chatsworth. There we go. Yes, and actually, as I show that to you, it blooming well says it on the back as well. How interesting. Yeah, Chatsworth, the West Front. I'm trying to think if I've ever... used to do a lot of corporate entertaining at large buildings like that. I can't remember if I've done it at Chatsworth. I've done it at a number of big stately homes in the old time. Colin says, good evening. Good evening to you. Can I come on the show one day, says Lee. Yes, of course. Where I'm in Worthing. I don't know where you are, but you'll be very welcome. It's a shame you're not here tonight. I always welcome guests if you can get in. I know that Steve, we were going to organise you, but it's so limited in space here. We need to come to you, Steve, because of your chair and what have you. Although, you know, you are the bionic man, so soon you'll be running around. We'll try and get that organised very soon. I can see what I can do, says Richard Suggett about joining forces. We need to find some time off. Get some deadwood. Yeah, I still think that is illegal to go around unless it's on common land and the old rules still apply that you can gather fallen wood. I don't know if they still do. Probably don't. You know, what with land grab and everything else, people are very greedy. But if anybody knows a supply of cheap wood, cheap logs, then do let me know. It's going to be very expensive round the Christmas period, which is what it is now. Stubbs Woodyard, Crossbush logs, that's where I get mine, says Colin. Where is that? Crossbush is a bit of a trek from me, I think, isn't it? Crossbush, hang on, where's Crossbush? Is that... am I thinking of the one up near Arundel? Is that where I'm thinking? We could do this before Christmas, could we? Well, we could, yes. Not next week, but maybe the week after. That could be good. They're based in Carlisle, says Robert Crozer. I'm not quite sure what that is that's based in Carlisle. Daniel says, he says, or dose, as he's spelt it, your new heater warm up Worthing as well as your house? Well, we've had pretty mild days recently, so I have got a sneaky suspicion that everybody else is benefiting, actually. So maybe you're right. Nigel says, I think we should organise a Christmas walk between the 25th and 31st, perhaps starting from Washington up on Chantonbury and to Sisbury and back. Well, we can float that. Why don't you float that in the group as a proposal? And if I see it, or lovely Julia or I or one of the admin team sees it, mark it up as a announcement or an event, and we'll see if we can get some people to join up. I would be up for that. I think that's a great idea, Nigel. Bung that in the Bald Explorer group. Or if not, ask Julia to bung that up in the Bald Explorer group as an event. We'll try and get some numbers together. Just a very simple, what is that, 3 miles, 3.5 miles? It's not very far, is it? It'd be perfect. We could all take some mince pies, some mulled wine in a flask. This is getting better and better already. We could take some mulled wine in a flask, some mince pies, some Yuletide log, and something else, or whatever, you know, a bit of a turkey sandwich or something. And we could get to either Sisbury or Sisbury Ring, and we could have not a picnic, but we could have a little bit of light refreshment when we get there, and take a group photograph and wish the world a Merry Christmas. Probably best to go from Sisbury, where you can park north of Worthing in the Findham Valley. Probably best to go from there and then walk to Chantonbury, get to Chantonbury, have our lovely food and fare in the old Iron Age hill fort on the site of a Roman temple within the ring of beech trees, not the original ones, sadly, I don't think, maybe a couple, planted by Charles Goring back in 1780s, whenever it was. Was it the 1890s? I can't remember. But from Goring Hall, or not Goring Hall, from Wiston, down there, and get up there with all that history and stuff, and wish the world a Merry Christmas, because we'll be able to see northwards into the Sussex Weald towards the North Downs. And then if Mark English and Matthew Holdsworth were to do the same up on somewhere like Box Hill, we could probably wave across the Sussex Weald to them, and we'll both be up on downland. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be fantastic. Turkey sandwiches, there we go. Skis and sledge, well, only if there is obviously the white stuff, which would be good. Yeah, so Joe Smith, hello Joe to you. She's just turned up, lovely. Peter Richardson, cut up old pallets, then they burn well in my wood burner. Peter, you're there. I keep talking to you, and I don't see your replies. Yes, I want to go out in your Rolls. I'm fed up of saying this now. I want to go with on a trip in your Rolls Royce and make a video. Can we do that? I cannot see any replies from you about that. If I've missed them, I apologise, but where are they? Oh, here we go. Wait. I have sent you an email, and yes, I do still have... there we go. I beg your pardon. Have you sent me an email just now? Let me just have a look, see if I can find it. Just wait there 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Coming close to the end of the show, but before we go... Oh, yes, Rolls Royce. Here we go. Now, this is what he says. He says, I still have the Rolls Royce, but I also have 2 Bentleys. Blimey, let's have a look and see what we can do here. I want to see if I can show you a picture. Oh, wow, look at that. Is that a Bentley? Is the white one, Peter, a Bentley or a Rolls Royce? I want to see if I can save this, download this picture. Transferring the data, save the file. Hang on, I want to show people. Can I show people the picture? Right, okay, I've done that. Hang on, I need to find out how to open this. This is awkward doing this live. Right, open containing folder. There it is. Okay, hang on, I've got to get into the software now to try and move this in. We will try this, and we will do this live, ladies and gentlemen. You're not supposed to see this. It's all supposed to be prepared as if it was all very exciting, as if it was all fluid is the word I'm looking for. And of course it's not going to open because for some reason it's too big. Open with Photoshop. I've got to use a commercial program just for a second. I want to show you this car, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show you this car. I can't just... Here it is. I don't know what I have to do to this. Duplicate the layer. Hang on. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second. I think the file size that you sent me, because it came straight from a phone, was probably too big. But don't panic, because I'm going to do something else. Save as... There we go. What should we call this? I don't know. I can't see your response now, but I'm hoping this is either the Bentley or the Rolls Royce. But whatever, we've got to do a ride in this for sure. Where's the show? Friday show. Where's the Friday show? Where's the show? I can't find the file. Desktop. Yeah, there we are. Show. Wait a minute. Friday. Peter's car. We'll call the file Peter's car. I'm saving that. Yeah, so what a rigmarole. No, don't want to save changes to anything else, but what I do want to do is find the Friday show, Peter's car, bung it in there. That's the ticket. There it is. And I want to share that across to you. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Phew, that was an effort. Look at that beautiful vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Is that the Bentley or the Rolls? I'm rubbish at knowing these things. Let's have a look, see what we got here, if any comments have come in since then. And Peter says it's a 1962 Bentley S3. How amazing. These are lovely. It must cost a fair old packet. You do love your cars. That's what the Vobes does best, says Maya. I'm not quite sure what that is, what you mean by that. But anyway, it's a lovely car. Thanks for sharing that. But yeah, let's make a date. I will answer your email. We'll try and find time when you're free and I'm free. And let's go for a spin, if that's okay. I'll give you the petrol money. Or diesel or whatever it probably takes. Gold juice, does it? Probably takes some special refined stuff that's hard to get hold of. But it does look a very lovely piece of motoring stuff, and I bet it's very smooth. And you must be the envy. We'll have to dress up, won't we? That's it. Have you got? I bet you've got a chauffeur's outfit. Have you got a chauffeur's outfit? Look at this. We're getting a walk organised on the show. This is amazing, isn't it? And we're going to get a trip in a Rolls Royce, which would be fun. I wonder if the lovely Julia could come with me and have a ride in the Rolls Royce, and we could both dress up as Lord and Lady so and so. We'll have to get some costumes from somewhere, but we could dress up. Wouldn't that be fantastic? I'm just looking to see if you've said any more. I can't see it, but never mind. It's gorgeous. It's a wedding car, says, is it a wedding car? Can me and Nikki hire your Bentley for a morning, says Mark. There we are. Look, we're getting you some work, Peter. We're getting you some work. So that would be great. People would love to have a jaunt around in your car. 10 miles to the gallon. Yeah, we won't go more than a gallon. 10 miles would be quite sufficient. No woolly hat in the Bentley, please, says Linda Kane. No, we would dress up in top hat and tails of some description. Maya says, I was referring to you mentioning Bradley. Apparently, he was really chuffed at the mention. I felt excited at the same time you mentioned my name. I'm so pleased that Bradley was... Has he gone to bed? Is Bradley still there? It's nearly time for me to go, Bradley. You better have some hot milk and then toddle off. But no wetting the bed tonight. Just looking to see if Peter has answered. Well, I'll be in touch. We'll try and do something. It sounds like fun. Dave Clark from the old Dave Clark 5 had a Rolls Royce with a number plate DC1. Oh, well, that's good. Is that Dave Clark as in... am I thinking of the same thing? The square... What's the square... No, the Take 5? Is that the same one? Anyway... Laura Riddle saying, how you feeling? I've just popped on, not long left. I'm feeling a bit ropey, so I won't be doing the 2 hours. We come to the end of the show, 1 minute to go. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your support, and I apologise for not being on air, but I will be back. I will be back on Monday. Monday, yes. I will be back on Monday. I've got to go to Yorkshire on Tuesday and... going up on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Yes, it's awkward. I've got a corporate video job that I've got to do. Pays quite good. It's a long old way. Got to go up to Yorkshire. Don't really want to do it, but I have to do it because I need the money. Can't let them down because I'm the only one that does these things as good as they get. Yeah, and so it's all good fun. But it means, of course, I shall be absent again, and I need to get myself fit for the run, and then we'll do more shows over the Christmas period. I'll try and make it up to you. 4 new comments. Let's have a look. Oh, Dave Brubeck. Yeah, that's it. Take 5. That's right. That's what I was thinking of. Dave Clark, somebody different. Good night, folks. Take care. Bradley's at primary school. No bed wetting since 3. Top boy. Well done to you. Super show, says Mark Selwood. Lynn Lou says night night. Dave Baker, have a great weekend. Sorry if I haven't mentioned your name or read out your message. I do apologise. Can't get to everybody. Did my best. Anyway, thank you for watching the lovely Julia and I splashing about in the sea. We've had good fun doing that. There will be a video. Evidence will be coming forth. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care, one and all. I'm going to go and have a nice hot milk myself with a bit of honey in it and rest my weary throat. But it's been great. I will see you after the weekend. Have a fantastic time. It's been great. And yeah, look forward to the journey in the Bentley with my old mate, Peter Richardson. Till the next time, goodbye. Goodbye.